Alright, welcome back to TEW 2020, the new era. We are here for the first SmackDown Live after SummerSlam. SummerSlam is going to be the last dual brand pay-per-view for a while. Of course, until Survivor Series, that will be the next dual brand pay-per-view. But if you missed the schedule reveal, it wasn't mandatory to watch. You're not going to miss any key details in the series. You're just going to miss what events are happening when. And the next event is for SmackDown. It is happening in a little more than a month. So we get 5 weeks of build for this pay-per-view, and it is the Great American Bash. That is what we're building to. If you missed out on SummerSlam, then the state of the championships are as follows. Dean Ambrose retained his WWE Championship against Sami Zayn in an absolute monster match. I'm not going to be able to see it. Ryder was able to end the Crush America tour when he defeated Rusev for the United States Championship. Not for a championship, but I do feel it is worth noting. John Cena did get drafted to SmackDown Live, but AJ Styles beat him at SummerSlam, where the stipulation was the loser is, I guess, not indefinitely suspended. There is a set date, and that date is till Survivor Series. That person is off of WWE TV. AJ Styles won that match, so we are no longer seeing John Cena. We'll have to find out who's going to fill his shoes. For the tag team titles, we saw the New Day take on Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, where the winning team would take the titles and they would stay on the brand that they are on. The New Day won that match, so the tag team titles are on Raw. We have no tag team titles on SmackDown, but we do have a title that Raw does not, and that is the Women's Championship. And at the pay-per-view, we saw Sasha Banks defeat the former champion Charlotte Flair to win the SmackDown. Well, it's not the SmackDown Women's Championship, it's the only Women's Championship. On screen right now, you will see the new belt. It's just the SmackDown Women's Championship, but we're just calling it the Women's title. It's just blue now because it's on the blue brand. So, yeah, that's really all that you need to know for that happened on SummerSlam. The rest is just kind of feuded stuff that went down. And it's time to get into this edition of SmackDown Live. We open this edition of SmackDown Live with AJ Styles. No Carl Anderson, no Luke Gallows, just AJ Styles. And AJ just takes the next 3.5 minutes to just wallow in his victory. Is that the right word? Wallow? Whatever. To just soak in his victory. I finally rid SmackDown Live of that stain John Cena. That termite infestation known as the C Nation has now been terminated. So that's basically what he's doing. But he ends the promo with saying, I've finally proven myself to the GMs of Daniel Bryan, to Stephanie and Shane, all the GMs. I've probably even proven myself to Vince. I've beaten the man that has been the face of WWE. I defeated him. Now I am the face that runs the place. And I am the next in line for Dean Ambrose WWE Championship. So Ambrose, there's no escaping me now. You can do anything in your power to get out of this match with me, but I'm going to win it. And I'm going to get the match. And I'm going to win it. And I'm going to take that WWE Championship for the first time in my career. This prompts Dean Ambrose to come out. And he's about to get a word in. He just has this face like, what are you talking about? Why would I ever try to dodge a match with you? You know? Why would I ever try that? I'm Dean Ambrose. I'm going to fucking kick your ass. But he doesn't get to say anything, as AJ, he wasn't flanked by the club when he came out. But the club were waiting backstage, and they just ambushed Dean Ambrose. They beat him down until he's knocked out on the ground. They hold his arms up. AJ lifts his head up from his hair and just starts shouting at him like, you better hold on to that WWE Championship while you can, because I'm coming for it. Strong words from AJ Styles. And then we take a little detour. We were going to have our first match next, but before then, we have a little detour into Daniel Bryan's office where we see the Dudley Boys, and they're just kind of having this smirk little face on them, like, we told you so. We said that you overlooked us, and, look how that turned out for you. No tag team titles on SmackDown. And Daniel Bryan, he kind of gives a little chuckle. He's like, yeah, you guys are right. I did overlook you, and I'll never do that again. You see, I got the green light from Vince McMahon to make our own set of tag team championships. I was contemplating who to put in this match, but, you have proved to me wrong. You guys probably should have been the ones in that match at SummerSlam. So my way of making it up to you is next week we will crown the first ever SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions, and you are one of the teams in the match. Dudley Boys get a little celebration, and we fade into our opening match of the night between Sami Zayn and Bo Dallas. Sami Zayn and Bo go about 4.5 minutes. It's really one-sided. Great performance by Sami Zayn stood out. 86 from him. He hits the haluva kick. He pins Bo Dallas. Bo's not a bad wrestler. He's actually got dark greens in all the 5 major categories, but dude is not over. So maybe being in the ring in a 70 rated match, that'll get him a little more popularity. And we then go into the next segment. Sami Zayn begins cutting a promo. He says, the rebound era is about to begin. 2 nights ago at SummerSlam, I lost a street fight for the WWE Championship, and I said it myself, I'm probably not going to get too many WWE Championships in my run here. It's just, it's not in nature for a guy like me, but I'm still willing to fight. There might be a slim chance that I'm one of those few guys that break through in this company, but I am ready to capitalize on that chance. I'm not going to be one of those guys that falls slowly down the card with each passing month. I am going to fight for my spot on the top of the card in the main event spot. So Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles may have set the challenge for you, but I am... And then he's cut off by music that no one in attendance was ready to hear. They hear this music, they go absolutely apeshit. Because it is the music of Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman show up on SmackDown Live. A few weeks ago, they said that they were there to sign a Raw contract. What the hell are they doing on SmackDown Live? Paul Heyman and Lesnar step into the ring. Sami Zayn is just absolutely baffled as to why these two are here. Paul Heyman grabs a microphone and he says, you see, Sammy? Well, obviously he starts with his catchphrase, my name is Paul Heyman, this is the Beast, Brock Lesnar. He does all that. I'm not gonna waste my time going through the whole spiel. But once he's done with his gimmick, he says, you see, Sammy, I beg to differ. Because as much as you think you're next in line for the WWE Championship, there is a 300-plus monster looking right in front of you. And that man isn't going to move for you. You see, a couple of weeks ago, we were on Monday Night Raw, and we said that we were there to sign our Raw contract. And then we were interrupted by Heath Slater, of all people. Hope I never have to see that man again. Brock Lesnar squashed him in under 30 seconds. And we went backstage. We tried to go backstage to talk to Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon was busy doing something with Roman Reigns or whatever. And then Stephanie McMahon, I believe, was either kicked out of the building or we just couldn't find her that week. And we didn't sign a Raw contract. Nobody in authority was willing to talk to me and my client, Brock Lesnar. So during SummerSlam, we were in attendance. We were backstage. We were not booked on the card because we hadn't signed a Raw contract. And that made Brock Lesnar particularly pissed that he was not allowed to be in a match because he was not signed to Raw or SmackDown. And we were furious at Shane and Stephanie. And we were going to have a word with them, but on our way to their office, we passed the office of Daniel Bryan and we saw he was in there. We had a little chat with Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn. You're looking at your newest member of the SmackDown Live roster. And if you think you're going to just walk past this 350 plus pound machine and just go back to the locker room, you're mistaken. Brock Lesnar immediately catches Sami Zayn in a German suplex position, hits him 3 times, hits him with the F5, lays out Sami Zayn. And we close this segment out with the Beast standing tall, the SmackDown Live monster. And we go to commercial, and when we come back, we are greeted by Dean Ambrose in the backstage area, and he's just kind of cutting a basically generic promo. I'm not going to go full into character like I kind of did for the last one. And he's just saying, AJ, you want to fight? I'll come get a fight. I don't know where you got in this head I'm going to try to dodge a fight with you. I'm Dean Ambrose. I am not the guy to dodge fights. In fact, I'm going to make my own fight. You see, next week, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, either of you two, I'll take on Anderson. You better get ready. Because I got a little hunch that Luke Gallows ain't going to make it to next week. Following Dean Ambrose's spiel or promo, we have Curtis Axel and Zack Ryder having great chemistry. Zack Ryder, of course, winning the United States Championship in his hometown. Fans went crazy. My Tyler went crazy. Everybody goes crazy for Zack Ryder because Zack Ryder's awesome. And Curtis Axel, he's kind of awesome too. And they go almost 8 minutes in this match. But Zack Ryder is the better man. They even had great chemistry. Well, that's awesome. He is the better man though, and he hits the elbow drop for the finish. I like to imagine he hits the Rough Rider, then he goes for the elbow drop as kind of a backup if they kick out of the Rough Rider. Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I might just remove the elbow drop and have that be his signature. But for now, it's a finisher, and he puts away Curtis Axel with it. Zack Ryder barely gets any time to celebrate as Rusev's manager and girlfriend, I don't believe, maybe wife at this time. I'll go with wife. I think they are married by now. So Rusev's manager, wife, I don't know why I just forgot the word immediately. She comes out and she's telling Zack that Rusev has his rematch clause to regain the United States Championship and get the Crush America tour off of this detour, and he's going to be resting. He won't make too many appearances on SmackDown before the Great American Bash because Rusev wants to be in a complete mint condition before he goes out and crushes Zack Ryder for good. We then have Ty Dillinger come out and greet the SmackDown Live audience. We've seen Ty Dillinger a handful of times. We saw him on the first episode of SmackDown Live. I think, yes, he was going to accept the Crush America tour, and Bo Dallas accepted it instead. He then did accept the Crush America tour, was unsuccessful, but Ty Dillinger is coming out, and he's coming out to be like, I'm Ty Dillinger, I'm the perfect 10, just kind of a little hype promo so the fans don't forget about him. And then the lights go very dim. Very fast, they go very dim. And on the screen, we see that familiar picture of the Heavy. And everyone's like, oh, wait, what the hell? I thought Brock Lesnar was the monster. And then people start thinking, wait a minute, those promo packages, they were happening before Paul Heyman's timeline. So the monster is not Brock Lesnar. Who is coming for Ty Dillinger? Well, the monster starts talking in a very distorted voice. He's just saying threatening, menacing stuff, and then slowly, over the course of about 45 seconds, his voice becomes less and less distorted, and you can sort of tell whose voice it is. And then you see the Heavy lean forward with each passing second, and he keeps talking, and his final line is something along the lines of, Mr. Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger, I can't wait to put you in a black hole, or something like that. He was referring to the Black Hole Slam because as the man keeps leaning forward, you can visibly see that this monster is the monster, Abyss. Abyss has debuted on WWE television. Ty Dillinger is like, oh, fuck. Because as the lights, they are dim now, shut off. They completely shut off. I was going to snap. I don't know how to. I can't do it. The lights shut off, and when they come back on, Abyss is in the ring, hits Ty Dillinger, massive clothesline, takes Ty Dillinger out of his shoes, hits him with the black hole slam, and fucking murders Ty Dillinger. Ty Dillinger sells like he is dead. He sells like the Survivor chick in the -5-star match against Sharmell at Victory Road. He is dead on the ground. And Abyss stands tall, and the fans are losing their shit. Obviously, if this was in like 2009 or 2011 or even 2012, fans would be going absolutely ballistic because TNA was at the height of its popularity, but TNA isn't as big anymore. But they still go fucking crazy because it is goddamn Abyss on WWE television. We then go to commercial, and when we return, we see the team of Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor and American Alpha in the ring looking ready for a match. This match wasn't announced, but these two men are awesome, and they would have an awesome match. And before this awesome match can become awesome, the awesome general manager, Daniel Bryan, has an awesome announcement. And I'm going to stop saying awesome because his announcement is real quick and real blunt, and he says, if you guys heard earlier in the show, Dudley Boys are going to be taking on a team yet to be determined for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, and the winner of this match will be that undetermined team. Good luck, boys. So we get into the match, and the match is very good for a very short amount of time, and it all comes crashing to a halt when the referee gets knocked down by accident when Finn Balor and Jason Jordan are in the ring. And what ends up happening is when that referee gets knocked down, Tyler Breeze and Fandango bolt to the ring. They bolt to the ring. Tyler Breeze hits Jason Jordan with the unprettier, with the spinning wheel kick. And before Chad Gable can even run into the ring to stop Tyler Breeze, Fandango pulls him off the apron, hits him with whatever his finisher is. I know it's the leg drop. I don't know if he has another finisher, but he hits him with one of his major moves. And Finn Balor usually wouldn't be the type of guy to take advantages, but there's a tag team title match, and not just a tag team title match on the line, it's also against him and Shinsuke's rivals. Finn Balor, he looks to go after Tyler Breeze, but Nakamura taps him on his shoulder, signals around his waist like belts. Finn Balor realizes, and he just shamefully hits a coup de grace on Jason Jordan and picks up the victory thanks to the help of Breezango. And Breezango finally get their revenge from a few weeks ago when American Alpha defeated them on their debut. Breezango finally get their, I guess not their comeuppance. They don't really get any revenge. It's not really revenge because American Alpha didn't do anything to them but beat them. But in their minds, it's some sort of revenge, and they just got it. We then have the club, all three of them, backstage as Daniel Bryan, fresh off the heels of that major announcement, then tells AJ Styles, hey, did not appreciate you taking out my world champion like that, so I'm going to have you wrestle later on tonight against... you know what? I think it'd be more fun if it's a surprise. AJ is pissed, but so is Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's pissed voice is just kind of being passive aggressive. So we'll have to see who AJ Styles is taking on later on tonight. And we then go back into the ring where we see our new women's champion Sasha Banks and her best friend Bayley in the ring, celebrating the fact that she is the new women's champion. They're best friends. No turns happen. One thing that happens that would get a lot of heat is Nikki Bella coming out. Nikki Bella, of course, losing to Becky Lynch a few weeks ago. Totally ignores that fact. She's just like, I'm sick of you two. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of Charlotte. I'm sick of Becky Lynch. I'm sick of all of you girls because you keep talking about you're the ones behind the revolution. You're the ones that gave respect to women's wrestling. Is that really what happened? Miss Banks. No, you were on Team Bad, whatever the hell that was. I and my sister Bree were the driving forces behind the Divas Revolution. And Nikki Bella's just cutting this whole promo. And so she's just going on and on about how these NXT clowns, the Dudley Boys were right. Nobody from NXT could ever beat Nikki Bella. And then this prompts Paige to come out. We haven't seen Paige in a few weeks. I couldn't use her. I wasn't just keeping her off of TV. I don't even remember what it was. Whatever. Paige is back, and she tells Nikki Bella to shove it and put her fists up because Paige is done listening to Nikki Bella talk trash, just talking garbage. And we have a match now between Paige and Nikki Bella, and it gets an 80 because Paige is a good worker and Nikki Bella's over, so that's just a winning combination right there. Even though the match ended in some sort of shenanigans, because what happened here was Paige was looking to hit the Paige Turner when Alexa Bliss ran in and just started attacking Paige. She won, but it was via DQ. Nikki Bella was disqualified, but Nikki Bella did not care. She did not want to be pinned by Paige. And Nikki Bella and Alexa Bliss, there was no communication before this, but I guess they both have the same motives to beat on Paige, so they do. And they keep doing it until the women's champion and Bayley run out to stop them. And the announcers put over the fact that it doesn't really matter. The announcers put over the fact that we will now see a tag match between Banks and Bayley and Bliss and Bella next week. 4 Bs. That's nice. That match will be happening next week. And now it is time to find out who Daniel Bryan was talking about. It has been an insane night on SmackDown already. We saw Brock Lesnar announce he signed a contract. We saw Abyss debut. Paige made her return for being off for a few months because of personal reasons or something. Who the hell did Daniel Bryan find to take on AJ Styles? It's gotta be Kane. It's gotta be Kane. Kane and Daniel Bryan, they've had their differences and their not differences along the years. But overall, Kane and Daniel Bryan are on good terms because of all of the Team Hell No shenanigans. And Kane is coming to SmackDown Live. He is an official member of SmackDown Live. The announcers put over this fact that Kane is an official member of SmackDown Live now. And we will get into this main event. I'm kind of worried on how it's going to go down. Kane isn't the best wrestler. But it doesn't matter. 83 isn't bad. I'll take an 83 any day. And the match is very good. The story of the match is that AJ Styles and Kane are decently even. Kane, they both have a lot of experience under their belt. And obviously AJ Styles is a better wrestler than Kane. But in WWE storyline, they're equal. And Carl Anderson tried to run down and distract Kane. Kane fends him off. The match continues. Luke Gallows tries to run down and attack Kane. Kane fends him off. Match continues. AJ Styles hits not a phenomenal forearm. I don't know. He hits one of his signatures. I don't know what his signatures are. He hits one of his signatures and then uses the ropes for leverage to defeat the Demon. And following that, we had the club looking like they were going to beat down Kane. Dean Ambrose has a lot of tape around his arm. The club must have targeted that in the opening beatdown. But Dean Ambrose comes with a chair in the other arm. AJ and Carl Anderson, they get the hell out of that ring. But Luke Gallows looks like he can take him. And Dean Ambrose did say earlier that he thinks Luke Gallows will not make it to next week. And Luke Gallows probably took personal offense to that. So Luke looks like he's ready to fight. Luke goes for a punch. He punches right into that steel chair. Dean Ambrose hits him in the back. And he looks at AJ Styles, yells an arm for an arm before Pillmanizing Luke Gallows' left arm. And we end this edition of SmackDown with the Lunatic Fringe, the WWE Champion, the Dean Ambrose, standing tall above Luke Gallows. And AJ Styles and Carl Anderson just fucking in fear. 88 for this edition of SmackDown Live. I thought it was going to do a little worse because of that main event. But it carried a little weight. It did a lot better than I thought. And what actually did a lot better than I thought was this Paige and Nikki Bella match. I thought it would get an 80 if it was a clean finish, but it got DQ and it had a fucking 80. So, you know, the women are a lot more over in my save than they are in the real database, because all the women were like unimportant and recognizable, and I felt that was a little harsh, you know, because it's like, why isn't Charlotte Flair as over as Kofi? I said that like Kofi isn't over, but like Charlotte Flair is probably about as over as Kofi Kingston, but the mod is like, no, you know, she's on Bo Dallas's level. So I just, you know, kind of redid most of the pop for the women, and after a few weeks of good builds, Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks are now a star. They were like the lowest well-knowns, so I didn't make them stars, but Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks are now stars. And Nikki Bella's pretty high up there, so I guess popularity-wise, the divas, the women are actually going to be carrying their weight in this save, which is really cool to see. There's not a lot of mods out there where the women can carry, and that's not the mod maker's fault. That was probably the time period sometimes. And I'm rambling again, so I'm just going to end it now. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I couldn't upload that much last week. This video was meant to come out on Wednesday, but all my teachers were like, hey, let's assign the essays to be the day before break. So I had 3 essays that were announced on Tuesday, due on Friday. But right now I'm in break, so I'm hoping to get around 5 to 6 videos out in the next 2 weeks before I have to go back to school. Then, once I have school, it'll just be like 2 weeks where maybe slower uploads. And then once that happens, if I pass all my classes, I graduate early. I'm a senior in high school, and I'll graduate early. And that's fucking awesome. So, hopefully by then I'll be able to upload as much as I want to. And I really hope you all enjoyed. And I hope you stick around for the next episode of the Cruiserweight Classic. I don't have the matches out in front of me. It is round 2. And night 1 of round 2 now. So here are all the matches on the screen. Hope that's interesting to you. Hope that is interesting. Pretty cool. So I hope to see you there. And if Cruiserweight Classic isn't your thing, then I hope to see you there for Monday Night Raw. Or maybe you're just a SmackDown Live guy, and I hope to see you for SmackDown Live. And if you're only watching the pay-per-views, how are you here? I guess I hope to see you at the pay-per-views.